Hi, everybody. John Creeman's back again from Mercury Digital Media. Hey, I'm glad you're with me today as we take a look at It's About the Pitch. It's a special 5-part series that I've put together, giving you some of the ins and outs of some of the product knowledge and pitch knowledge that I know about, making money. Whether it's on television or talking in front of a group, maybe it's a webinar or a seminar. Live or digital, doesn't matter. There's a lot of things that's about the pitch that I can teach you, and I have taught you on several lessons. The first was, of course, being authentic. I really value that. I think that anybody that is worth their salt as a pitchman or being able to pitch your idea or product, you really need to be authentic. You really have that unique connection, which connection is number 2. You got to be looking at everybody, even if they're new, that you don't know who they are. You've got to be able to look at that camera or be in front of a group and react to them, talk to them like they're your friends. Because in the end, whether they buy something or not, they're going to remember you being the person that told them about, a product, or maybe perhaps it's an idea that they had never heard of before, but because you took the time to be able to tell them more about it, and they got something out of it, that's when that connection and everything else in your life becomes even more important. So in the third part of our series today, we're going to be talking about product knowledge is key. It really goes back to some of the things that I just had a chance to tell you about. Being authentic and having that connection, that one-on-one look at the eye, right? But it's the confidence that you exude because you know your product knowledge. You know the idea knowledge that will help you convey it to whoever's listening to you, whoever your audience is or who you're watching. So let's talk about product knowledge for a second. I'm going to go back. I'm going to take you back to an older time in the television shopping industry. Many of you probably thought that all the talking heads, all the hosts, the guys and girls that were on air, my friends throughout the industry, you probably thought, oh my gosh, they know everything about a product. Matter of fact, that's how I got my nickname, the Doctor of Shopology. Because I was conveying the product knowledge that I had gained over a short amount of time on the television shopping industry. This was in my first year of being a host. And I had somebody, a caller, say, oh my gosh, John, you know everything about this. Could you tell me something more? And I told them. And then the woman told me, she goes, look, oh my gosh, what are you, like the Doctor of Shopology? And there my nickname was born. Doc Shop, the Doc. The Doctor of Shopology. It's because I took the time to go beyond the product. To mean literally to know all the product knowledge that I could about it. About what it did, how it worked, demoed it properly, and a lot about the problems that this unique solution had, right? That it was there to solve. And it took time. In the first years of the television shopping industry, we had no information. If I told you right now that I was given a box and said, okay, John, there it is. You're going to have this one item. There's the box. Take a look at it. You're going to look at it going, what the hell? Because on a box, some of the boxes that were created back then, and this is before real true marketing began on product packaging, was that box had nothing on it. It might have a weight made in China or whatever, right? So what you had to do was, as boxes got a little more sophisticated, you'd look at them and you'd say, okay, maybe they put a unique picture or how the product worked, and that way you could be looking at it and go, okay, yeah, now I know. Oh, now I see how this works and what it's supposed to do. Because, astute marketers on their packaging really let the consumer know a little bit more about their product. But in the old days of television shopping, that was our product knowledge. We had nobody, typing in all the information, going, oh my gosh, it does this, giving you every feature and every benefit. No. You had to do the research yourself. So that's why in this third part of our 5-part series, product knowledge is key. It's extremely important because you're going to have a great idea and you're going to have a product. But it's not until you really look at that product, the way that an inventor or an entrepreneur would look at a product. They would look at the problem. And then they would become the expert on that problem. I could tell you everything about a certain problem that my product or my idea is going to solve. But here, let me tell you about the problem. And then you become an expert in the problem, right? And this is why product knowledge is key. Because you're going to take that product knowledge you have of the problem and you're going to relate it to the audience. You're going to relate it to the customer. You're going to relate it to whoever's watching you on a webinar, seminar, looking at their computer monitor or their laptop or their phone. And you're going to be the world's most, the largest expert when it comes to the problem that you're about to solve. So what I would say is research your problem. Know everything about it. And then your next thing is the solution, which is your product. So now you're going to have to be an expert there too. So that's why product knowledge is key. Because if you can get them to really understand the problem and feel it in their daily lives, that product knowledge that you have now, or the product knowledge that you have, will come into the focus. Because now you're going to be showing them how the product, literally solves that big problem you showed them about and talked about. Because you're the expert now. You now know everything about that problem you possibly can know. And don't say, well, it's just my product, so I know exactly what problem. No, there are a lot of people that won't understand your problem or why you came up with the product. It gives you this added confidence because you know everything about the problem. Literally everything. The nuts and bolts of why a problem is a problem. And then you take it and you relate it to the solution that you created. I mean, you in the eye of whoever's watching, or whoever your customer is, or whoever you are that they're there, they're going to know that, wow, okay, John knows a little bit more about that than I thought. And now he's got this great solution, and holy cow, wow, he really thought this out. And you automatically get respect. You automatically, take your authentic nature because you're really smart at it now. You know your product inside and out. You know the problem inside and out. That the moment you start to talk to somebody, like we're doing now, you're an expert in their eyes. You're the guy or gal that just literally found a big problem, researched it out completely, and found a solution that fits so perfectly that they've got to have, right? So that's why I'm saying product knowledge is key. Because it's not just about, oh, this is it. Look at it. Looks cool. It's my favorite widget. I just made it. Wow, it does this and that. And no, it's not interesting. It's all part of the story. And, and if you're able to get your product knowledge up to a point where it's not just about the product itself, but it's about the problem and the touch points that people in their mind start to think, oh my gosh, I've had that problem, or I know somebody that has that problem, right? So when you're looking at your big picture, and when we're talking about product knowledge is key, it's not like the old days when I had to do it and looking at a box and trying to figure out what the hell does this do? It literally is where you've now researched your problem enough as an entrepreneur and an inventor, where you can take that knowledge, you can apply it to your product, because now you're an expert now, not just on the problem, but the solution. And then you're able to take the person that's watching, or the person that may be buying, or better yet, if you're in a seminar, like I do in webinars that go out all over the globe, and are doing it live, the people that are watching will know that you're an expert. And they'll know because you have the knowledge to convey. You give them things that they've never perhaps even heard of before, or even thought of before. Even if you're solving a simple problem, now they know, oh my God, there's even more things of this problem than I could have ever imagined. And that you became an expert on a product that you've created, or an idea that you created to solve that problem. That's where knowledge is key. And product knowledge, idea knowledge, no matter what you're trying to pitch, the moment that you feel comfortable, the first two parts of the series come into play, right? Because in the first part of the series, we talked about being authentic. Well, now, heck, I'm an expert on everything. Or an expert, you are. You're looking and going, I know that, I know this. I can explain how this problem affects everybody, or a certain, part of the population. I can also talk about my product. And you're so confident because now you've got all the data. You know your product knowledge. You are an expert. So product knowledge is key for that reason, and that reason alone, as part of the pitch. Now, in the next part of our series, in this 5-part series, in part 4, we're going to be talking about, taking the tour. And no, I don't mean go to where it's manufactured. I don't mean, to go to the store and buy one, because that's where you hope to be, or maybe your idea may be out and about on the internet and people are looking at it. We're going to be talking about the tour, the understanding, because you are now not only authentic, not only are you getting the connection, but you're also someone that is really knowledgeable when it comes to the problem and the solution that you've created. And the person that's watching, the person that's listening, the person that wants to connect will be listening to you because they're hanging on every word. They know you're a product expert now. You have knowledge. So remember, product knowledge is key. You have to remember that because that's going to be your biggest thing. That's going to be, that confidence builder. It's really the part of the pitch because it's all about the pitch. And we'll be going into part 4 in a few short moments. And I hope that you get more out of it because now you can see where being authentic and having a connection and having the product knowledge that helps uplift your spirit, but also that your confidence is extremely important. Now we're going to show them why your product is absolutely amazing.